I'm Nadia Hill, 30 years old, staring at quarterly reports in my Kansas City office when my phone lights up. A single text from my stepmom sent me $2,000 so I can throw a birthday party for your brother. No hello. No please. Just the demand. I built this food delivery AI company from a garage app while they spent every dime I sent. I fired back, earn it yourself. 3 minutes later, my dad's message hit pay up, or you're out of this family. Little did I know those words would torch everything I thought I knew about blood and money. Before I spill how this blew up my entire world, drop your city in the comments if you've ever had to draw a line with family, and smash subscribe if you're ready for the fallout. Growing up on the outskirts of Kansas City wasn't what most people picture when they think of family life. My parents split when I was 12, and 6 months later, my real mom passed away from complications after a routine surgery. Dad, Robert Hill, handled the grief by throwing himself into work as a construction engineer, leaving me to figure out the rest on my own. 2 years later, he brought home Layla Walsh, a nail salon owner he met at a company barbecue. They married fast, and before I turned 15, she gave birth to Brock. From that day, the house shifted. Dad's attention zeroed in on the new baby, and Layla made it clear where her priorities lay. I wasn't her kid, so I didn't count the same. I started picking up shifts at a local diner at 16, flipping burgers after school to cover clothes and bus fare. Dad noticed but never offered to help. Instead, he'd hand me a 20 and say it was for experience. Layla, meanwhile, decorated Brock's nursery with stuff that cost more than my entire wardrobe. Designer crib, custom murals, the works. I slept on a pull-out couch in the basement because the spare room became a play area. High school wasn't easy, but I kept my grades up. Scholarships paid for community college, then a transfer to the state university. I waited tables, tutored freshmen, and coded side projects on a second-hand laptop I bought at a pawn shop. Dad promised to chip in for tuition once, but when Brock needed braces, the money vanished. I took out loans and paid them off myself, one double shift at a time. By 22, I'd built a basic app in my garage apartment that optimized delivery routes for local restaurants. It wasn't fancy, but it saved owners hours and cut fuel costs. A regional chain licensed it, and the payout cleared my debt. I moved into a tiny studio downtown and poured every spare dollar into scaling the platform. Dad called occasionally, always with updates about Brock's soccer games or Layla's salon expansion plans. I listened, sent birthday cards, and kept grinding. When the company hit 50 employees, Dad's calls changed tone. He'd mention a rough patch at work or how the house needed repairs. I started wiring money, 500 here, 1,000 there, telling myself it was for the family. Layla texted thank yous at first, then stopped bothering. Brock got a new gaming setup. Layla added a second location to her salon, and Dad upgraded his truck. I saw the charges on the joint account I'd added them to for emergencies, but I let it slide. Brock grew up thinking money appeared when you asked. He never held a job, never saved a dime. Layla enrolled him in private lessons, bought him the latest sneakers, and planned vacations I only heard about through photos. I didn't argue. I was busy closing deals, hiring engineers, and keeping servers online. The transfers became routine. $1,000 for Brock's camp. $2 for Layla's equipment, another for Dad's certification course that never panned out. I tracked it in a spreadsheet at first, then stopped. The business was growing, clients spanned 3 states, and I convinced myself the giving kept some thread of connection alive. Layla started signing her texts with emojis like we were close. Brock called me sis in group chats, but only when he needed something fixed on his phone. I flew home once a year, stayed in a hotel, and brought gifts nobody asked for. Dad hugged me tight. Layla complimented my shoes, and Brock barely looked up from his screen. The house smelled like new paint and takeout. They talked about upgrades, expansions plans that always needed funding. I nodded, wrote checks, and flew back before the weekend ended. Looking back, the imbalance was obvious. I paid for orthodontics, car insurance, and a backyard deck while scraping together my first office lease. but I kept sending the money hoping one day they'd see the effort behind it. Instead, the requests grew bolder, the gratitude thinner. Brock hit 16 and the baseline shifted again. Layla's salon thrived on the surface, but the charges told a different story. Late fees, overdrafts, maxed limits. I didn't connect the dots until much later. The Garage app had become a full platform investors circled, and my name appeared in local business journals. Dad clipped the articles, showed them around. Layla posted them on the salon's Facebook with heart emojis. Brock liked the posts, then asked for concert tickets. I sent the money, same as always. The pattern locked in. I built something from nothing, and they treated the profits like communal property. Dad stopped asking and started expecting. Layla forwarded invoices without comment. Brock assumed every milestone deserved a payout. I enabled it transfer after transfer until the day the $2,000 text arrived, and something inside me finally snapped. By 28, the company had taken off faster than any forecast. I sold the core routing algorithm to a national chain for 7 figures, enough to lease real office space in downtown Kansas City and hire a full engineering team. 50 employees filled the floor: coders, data analysts, customer support reps, all running on the platform I'd bootstrapped years earlier. Revenue hit 8 figures that quarter, and venture firms started circling with term sheets. Layla wasted no time putting the windfall to use. She texted photos of a brand new SUV parked outside her salon, captioned for Brock's school runs. The invoice showed up on the shared credit line I'd set up for household emergencies. Dad followed up with a call about investing in the business, and 2 weeks later, a second salon location opened in a strip mall across town. Glossy signs, new chairs, neon lighting, the works, all charged to the same account. Brock rolled into his sophomore year with the latest smartphone model, the one with the triple camera setup that cost more than my first server rack. He posted unboxing videos from his bedroom, tagging high-end brands and flexing designer hoodies I'd never seen before. Layla commented heart emojis on every clip, bragging to her clients about her son's style. He bragged to friends about weekend shopping sprees at the mall, bags piling up in the back seat of that SUV. I kept the transfers flowing, auto-scheduled through the bank app. $10,000 for a family cruise to the Bahamas. Dad sent sunset pics from the deck. Another $8 for Brock's custom gaming PC, complete with RGB lights and a curved monitor. Layla requested 5 more for inventory restock, then another 3 for staff bonuses. The numbers climbed, but the business scaled faster, so I rationalized it as keeping peace. Brock never flipped a burger or stocked a shelf. His idea of effort was posting sponsor codes for energy drinks. Layla signed him up for elite soccer clinics, paid coaches under the table for extra sessions, and flew him to tournaments in neighboring states. Hotel suites, rental cars, team jerseys, all expensed without question. Dad mentioned needing tools for a side gig, and a full workshop appeared in the garage next month. The company expanded to 4 more cities, integrating with major chains and adding real-time tracking features. Press releases named me in 30 under 30 lists, and local TV booked interviews. Layla clipped every article. It was a Tuesday morning when the text arrived during a stand-up meeting. Layla's message popped up on my lock screen. Need $2,000 today for Brock's Sweet 16. Venue deposit, DJ booking, giant custom cake. Wire it now. No context, no breakdown, just the total. I stepped into the hallway, thumbs hovering over the keyboard. The company had just closed a major partnership. Cash flow was strong, but something about the blunt demand hit different. I replied, "Get a job and pay for it yourself." Silence for an hour. Then Brock's Instagram story exploded across my feed. A black and white selfie with the caption, "Rich sister won't even fund my 16th. Guess family means nothing when you're loaded." He tagged me, the company handle, and a dozen mutual friends. Views climbed past 500 in minutes. Comments poured in, some defending me, most piling on with laughing emojis and cold-blooded gifs. Dad's text followed at lunch. "You're embarrassing the family. Send the money or consider yourself cut off. No more calls, no more holidays. He attached a screenshot of Brock's story circled in red. Aunts and cousins I hadn't spoken to in years flooded my inbox. One wrote, "He's just a kid, Nadia. Don't be petty." Another, "Think of your father's health. Stress isn't good at his age." A third forwarded Layla's group chat plea, "Brock deserves one special day. Help us make it happen." Layla called that afternoon while I reviewed quarterly projections. She picked up mid-sob. "How could you ruin his 16th birthday? This is a milestone. The venue requires payment upfront. The cake artist books months in advance. You're destroying everything." I held the phone away as her voice cracked into hysterics, listing vendors who'd already confirmed. Brock messaged next, voice notes laced with teenage rage. "You fly private for work, but can't spare $2,000 for my party. Everyone's coming, classmates, soccer team, neighbors." Now I look like a joke. He ended with a string of middle finger emojis. I muted the thread and focused on emails, but the notifications kept buzzing. A high school acquaintance DM'd, "Saw the story. Harsh move, Nadia." A former coworker asked if everything was okay at home. Layla posted a public update on the salon page, "Prayers needed for family drama. Trying to give my son the birthday he deserves." Likes rolled in from clients. Dad tried FaceTime that evening. I let it ring out. Then he left a voicemail. "This isn't about the money. It's about respect. Brock looks up to you. Fix this." The background noise revealed Layla coaching him mid-recording. Brock doubled down with an Instagram duet, reacting to his own story, lip-syncing a trending sound about betrayal. The video hit 10,000 views overnight. Strangers commented, "Sister needs therapy." Spoiled much. He replied to top ones with crying, laughing faces. Layla sent itemized quotes: venue 800, DJ 600, cake 500, decorations 100. She added, "See, it's reasonable. Just approve the transfer." I screenshotted and archived without responding. Cousins organized a group text family meeting tonight on Zoom. Everyone's invited to hash this out. I declined the invite. One uncle emailed a long paragraph about blood being thicker than water, ending with his Venmo handle in case you change your mind. Brock live-streamed from his room, reading comments aloud. Someone said my sister's a CEO, but acts broke facts. He panned to posters on his wall, trophies from tournaments I'd funded. Viewers sent stars. He cashed them out on the spot. Layla left another voicemail at midnight. "The DJ canceled because we missed the deposit window." Brock's devastated. "This is on you." Her crying echoed down the hallway in the background. Dad texted a final ultimatum. "Last chance. Wire the 2,000 by morning or we're done. No inheritance talk, no emergency contact, nothing." He included a photo of Brock staring out the window, captioned, "Heartbroken." The pressure built like a server overload, pings from every direction. I turned off notifications, stared at the ceiling, and weighed the cost of one more yes against the pattern it would reinforce. The story views crossed 50,000. Layla posted a poll. Should a successful sibling fund a teen's milestone party? 80% voted yes. Brock sent a private snap, a close-up of his face, eyes red. "You win. Party's off. Happy now." The image vanished after 10 seconds, but the guilt trip lingered. I drafted responses, deleted them, and finally powered down the phone. The office felt quieter the next day, but the fallout had only begun. That afternoon, I dialed my financial advisor, Maya Franklin, from the conference room. She answered on the second ring, voice calm as always. I laid out the situation without emotion. Years of transfers, the latest demand, the public backlash. Maya pulled up the joint accounts on her end and walked me through every linked card, vehicle, title, and college fund in Brock's name. We started with the credit cards. Maya revoked Layla's supplementary access, froze Dad's, and canceled the one issued to Brock for emergencies. Confirmation emails fired off within minutes. Next came the SUV title in my name for tax reasons. Maya contacted the lender, paid off the balance with company funds, and transferred ownership to a holding entity I controlled. Tow instructions went to a local lot. Keys would be mailed back. The college savings account held the biggest chunk, $50,000, earmarked for Brock's future tuition. Maya liquidated the investments, wired the proceeds to a new restricted trust, accessible only after he turned 21, and completed a semester on his own dime. Penalties stung, but the message needed to land hard. Layla showed up at the office lobby an hour later, heels clicking across marble. Security buzzed me. I watched the feed from my desk. She waved printouts of canceled charges, demanding to speak to the manager. Kendra Ortiz, my executive assistant, met her at reception with a firm smile. Layla's voice carried through the glass something about lawsuits and ruined lives. Kendra escorted her out, citing trespass policy, and locked the doors behind her. Brock's texts started flooding in right after school let out. "You took my car. How am I supposed to get to practice?" Then cards declined at the gas station everyone saw. He attached a photo of the SUV on a flatbed captioned, "Thanks, sis." Another message. "You're literally destroying my life over $2,000. Dad broke his silence with a single line at dinner time. "You'll regret this." No explanation, no plea, just the warning. Layla tried the office line next, patched through by a new receptionist who didn't know the block list yet. She launched into a tirade about Brock missing soccer tryouts without transportation, clients canceling appointments because word spread. Maya had already looped in legal. I transferred the call to voicemail. Kendra flagged unusual activity on the company expense portal, Layla attempting reimbursements for consulting services dated back months. Maya audited the submissions, flagged them as fraudulent, and froze pending claims. The total attempted clawback exceeded $10,000. Brock showed up on social media again, but this time from a friend's account. A video of him walking home in the rain, backpack slung low, narrated no ride, no phone data. Guess that's what happens when your sister cuts you off. Shares hit local groups. Parents commented about entitlement. Dad called the office landline late evening. Kendra answered, put him on hold, then patched to speaker so Maya could listen. He spoke low. The truck payment bounced. Repo notice came today. I asked about the fishing boat he'd bought last year. Silence answered. Maya noted the lien for follow-up. Layla emailed formal demands, itemized lists of owed expenses, threats of small claims court. Maya forwarded to counsel, who drafted cease and desist letters citing harassment. Delivery set for certified mail. Brock's coach texted me directly, contact saved from years of funding fees. He missed practice. Teams worried. Any chance you can help with rides? I replied that transportation was now a family responsibility and blocked the number. Kendra monitored lobby cameras the rest of the week. Layla returned twice, once with printed bank statements, once with Brock in tow. Security turned them away each time. Kendra logged incidents, time-stamped footage, and updated the no-entry list. Dad's final message arrived past midnight, house payment short. Mortgage company called. No details on how the shortfall happened, just expectation I'd cover it. Maya pulled the deeds, still in my name, from a refinance I'd co-signed. She prepared payoff docs to remove my liability entirely. Brock attempted Venmo requests from burner accounts, 50 here, 100 there, labeled gas or food. Maya's system flagged and blocked each one. He switched to Cash App, same result. Layla left a package at reception, manicure gift certificates, and a note for your staff, since you took everything from us. Kendra donated them to a women's shelter. The office settled into routine, but the family side churned. Dad stopped responding to Maya's emails about asset transfers. Layla's salon socials went dark. No posts, no stories. Brock deleted his gaming profiles, went offline entirely. Kendra scheduled a team meeting to review access protocols. No more personal charges, no exceptions. Maya closed the last shared account, routing final statements to archives. The financial ties severed clean, no loose ends for leverage. 2 days later, the intercom buzzed from the lobby while I brewed coffee. Security announced visitors Layla and Brock insisting on an emergency family matter. I hesitated, then granted access to the private elevator. They stepped into the condo hallway minutes later, Layla clutching a folder, Brock scrolling his phone with earbuds dangling. I offered water. They declined. Layla launched straight in. "We need to talk about the accounts. This is unacceptable." Brock leaned against the kitchen island, arms crossed, glaring at the city view. I gestured to the living room couches and sat opposite them. Layla opened the folder, sliding printouts across the coffee table. Bank alerts, repo warnings, declined transactions. "Look what you've done." "Brock can't even buy lunch." He nodded dramatically, pulling up a screenshot of an empty wallet app. I called my best friend Sarah Klein, a cybersecurity consultant who'd helped secure the platform early on. She arrived within 20 minutes, laptop in hand. Sarah greeted everyone politely, then asked Brock for his phone to verify some charges. He handed it over reluctantly. Sarah mirrored the screen to her device and navigated to Instagram DMs. Hidden threads surfaced, conversations with event planners, a lakeside villa rental for the weekend, DJ contracts far exceeding $2,000. One message read, "Bring whatever parents won't know." Another pinned a guest list of 200, including off-campus college kids. Layla's face paled as Sarah projected the chats onto the TV. Villa deposit $1,500, DJ premium package $1,200, catering for late-night snacks $800, decor and lighting another $1,000. Total pushed past $5,000 with notes about extras covered by attendees. I turned to them. "This isn't a birthday party, it's a blowout bash with stuff parents don't approve." Brock snatched his phone back, muttering about privacy. Layla stammered. It started small. Things escalated. Sarah scrolled further. Vendor confirmations, rider requests for specific setups, even a bartender quote. Brock had coordinated everything, forwarding invoices to Layla for approval, while claiming it was modest. Brock exploded. "You owe me a sweet 16. Everyone gets one. You're loaded. Why punish me?" He paced, kicking the rug edge. Layla joined in, tears flowing. "We'll sue for emotional distress. You can't cut a minor off like this." Sarah calmly explained legal realities, no obligation for adult siblings to fund teens, especially non-essentials. She cited statutes on parental responsibility, noting Brock's age still placed duty on Dad and Layla. Layla waved the folder again. "The house is in jeopardy. We need bridge funds." I reviewed the mortgage doc. Sarah pulled late notices, but equity remained. Dad wasn't present, but his signature appeared on extensions. Brock demanded the SUV keys, claiming school hardship. Sarah displayed DMV records, title now in corporate name, no teen driver listed. He slumped onto the couch, defeated. Layla shifted tactics, pleading for just enough to stabilize. She listed salon payroll shortfalls, utility shutoffs looming. Sarah cross-referenced business filings, multiple locations, but revenue reports showed declining bookings, post-drama. I confronted the villa plan directly, guests bringing unapproved items. "That's not a celebration, it's reckless." Brock shrugged. "It's my birthday. Rules don't apply." Sarah archived the evidence, emailing copies to my secure drive. Layla threatened media exposure, claiming victim status. Sarah countered with defamation risks from public lies. Brock tried guilt. Dad stressed. His blood pressure. No medical proof offered. Layla echoed health concerns but focused on financial ruin. I stood firm. Support ends here. Manage your own. Sarah outlined next steps. Formal notices, account closures finalized. Layla gathered papers. Voice breaking. "You'll hear from our lawyer." Brock stormed to the elevator, slamming the call button. Sarah locked the door behind them, resetting building access codes. The condo fell silent. Sarah poured wine, reviewing backups. Evidence secured, no room for spin. A month later, the consequences rolled in one after another. Layla's main salon location shuttered, first IRS liens taped to the door for unpaid payroll taxes accumulated over years. Clients scattered to competitors. Online reviews mentioned abrupt closure and bounced appointments. The second site followed weeks after lease forfeited when rent went delinquent. Brock dropped out of high school midway through the semester. Guidance counselors noted chronic absences after transportation vanished. He signed up for Uber Eats delivery biking routes in the evenings with a thermal bag strapped to his back. Earnings barely covered phone bills and fast food. Former teammates spotted him at red lights, avoiding eye contact. Dad lost his engineering position when the firm downsized amid a slow market. References checked out, but gaps in recent projects raised flags. He applied for unemployment, listing the family home as primary asset. The mortgage company initiated foreclosure proceedings after 3 missed payments, equity eroded by second liens from cash-out refinances. The family downsized to a 2-bedroom apartment in a quieter suburb. Moving trucks hauled furniture to storage. Neighbors whispered about the sudden change. Dad took contract gigs through an agency, driving farther for half the pay. Layla picked up shifts at a chain salon, starting as a junior technician under strict quotas. I blocked every number Dad's cell, Layla's work line, Brock's new burner. Email filters routed their domains to trash. Building management changed my condo locks and updated the resident directory. Packages returned unopened. Certified letters refused at the desk. Sarah monitored public records for updates. Layla filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy, listing unsecured debts from vendor contracts and personal loans. Dad's credit score tanked below 600, limiting apartment approvals. Brock's delivery ratings hovered at 4 stars. Complaints about late drops after bike chains snapped. The platform expanded to 2 new states without distraction. Team morale hit highs with clear boundaries, no personal favors bleeding into operations. Maya closed the final audit, confirming 0 exposure from past ties. Dad attempted contact through a mutual cousin at a holiday gathering I skipped. The message relayed, "He's struggling. Could use advice." I declined to respond. Layla posted salon closure notices on local forums, blaming family betrayal without names. Comments sympathized, then moved on. Brock earned his GED online part-time, juggling shifts. He messaged once from a work account, "Need bus pass money." Auto reply bounced it back. Dad's truck sat repossessed in a lot auctioned for pennies on the dollar. The apartment lease required co-signers with verifiable income, none qualified. They relocated again to a studio unit above a strip mall, utilities on prepaid plans. Layla cut hair from home on weekends, cash only. Dad consulted on small renovations, tools bought secondhand. I redirected the energy once spent on transfers into mentorship programs for young entrepreneurs. Scholarships funded coding boot camps for teens from single-parent homes. The company matched donations, building a cycle that gave without strings. How Kwa taught a hard truth: enabling entitlement erodes self-reliance. Layla learned businesses sink without fiscal discipline. Brock discovered effort builds character faster than handouts. Dad faced retirement without safety nets he assumed eternal. I lost a family and name, but gained my life. Boundaries aren't cruelty.
What would you do in this situation? Let us know in the comments. If this story had you on the edge of your seat, smash that like button and subscribe for more jaw-dropping family drama, shocking betrayals, and the revenge stories you won't believe.